What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, my fighters? I'm One Eye Bry, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about Dead City Season 1, Episode 2. So obviously, spoiler warning for all things Walking Dead and Dead City. So Season 1, Episode 2 is a good episode. It's short. It's not even 39 minutes long, and it's definitely early access on AMC+. Some people are like, how are you watching the episode? It comes out on Thursday on AMC+, on Sundays on AMC, but the episode starts with a callback to the Walker fingers through the door, just like The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 1 with Rick at the hospital. So I love these callbacks, these connections, these Easter eggs. It's pretty cool. But Negan and Maggie have to go after a new character, Esther, that stole their bag. And Esther basically puts them on a little chase. And it's kind of comical with Negan and Esther. Esther actually dies in the episode, so she's a red shirt, and the red theory strikes again. But like I said, Negan, Maggie follow Esther up the elevator shaft with no elevator. There's the ladder that they take up. Walkers are falling down, and Maggie and Negan follow Esther to a building that has a zip line. Esther goes across no problem. I don't know how old this lady is, but she goes across the zip line with ease. She's pretty funny, and I kind of wish this character was around more. She doesn't speak English in the episode, which is kind of a little annoying. Not bad, but it's just one of those things where you're like, I don't understand what she's saying, but Negan translates, and it's funny. Negan really carries the series so far, in my opinion. I can't imagine the show without him, but Esther's like, yep, see, I did it. Come on over. She doesn't say anything, but she gives these faces like, come on. And so Negan's like, cool, awesome, looks fun. So he zips across no problem. Maggie struggles with the heights, and as she's about to go across, she hears the music from before, like in the streets with that vehicle that had the speakers on it. And so she doesn't get enough, power to go across. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, what if she got stuck in the middle? She doesn't get stuck in the middle, but she gets stuck towards the end of the line. And you see a brief moment of the vehicle in the street there, drawing the walkers towards wherever they're going. But Maggie's in a precarious situation as she looks down, which you should never do. But Negan says, come on, Maggie, come on, like, he'll help her. But Maggie wants nothing to do with Negan, no help whatsoever. But Maggie is kind of reaching for it, and she makes it across. It's kind of one of those little moments like, oh, is she going to go? No. Then we see, I guess, New Hilltop. Like, I don't know what this place is supposed to be, because the last time we saw Hilltop on The Walking Dead Season 11 finale, the series finale, Hilltop looked fine. But what's this place? They moved Hilltop? Well, they're filming this in New Jersey, and Hilltop, the set, is filmed in Georgia, so they had to do something about it. But this lady, I didn't get her name, doesn't really matter to me, but she takes Ginny around. They go to school, they have a teacher, they're talking about what plants and things you can eat. So practical stuff. They're not learning about history and dumb stuff. They're learning about how to stay alive, which is very important in a zombie apocalypse, let alone life. But Ginny doesn't say a word again. In 2 episodes, they show her, but we don't hear her talk at all. There's a little Gossip Girls in the back talking about God knows what. Kids will be kids, right? I guess those are chalkboards on there. That's how you write, because they don't have notebooks, paper, pens, pencils. But we see Esther, Negan, and Maggie talk in an abandoned building. Esther's going through Maggie's bag. Maggie takes something from her, like, nope, don't take that. And Negan's like, hey, sure, you can have that. Go ahead, knock yourself out. And so Esther says, she says something, I'm guessing in Hebrew. I don't know the language, but she's like, this? And Negan's like, I think she wants to trade. And so he interprets just based on like body language and everything. And if you ever talk to someone and you don't have the same language, you just got to go by body language and what they're saying. Negan's like, can you take us to the building over there with the smoke? And she says a bunch of words. And Negan's like, I'm a little rusty, but I don't think she can. I don't think she can help us. And I cracked up. Negan was pretty hilarious this episode. Then we see Armstrong wakes up, or he's alive, in the cleaners, and we see the rifle still there, and he has to abandon it because of all the walkers in the cleaners. This is the other Babylon Marshal, or New Babylon Marshal, whatever you want to call it, but I think he should be like ripped apart, right? That happens so many times in the Walking Dead universe where people were swarmed by walkers and they weren't devoured. But we see Pearlie Armstrong looking at an address for Joel Armstrong, which is probably his brother. We see Maggie and Negan are taken to a building, and they are captured basically by, I'm not sure if they're called the Tribe or whatever this group is called. Eli Journet, after the end of the episode, said a couple pieces of information that aren't said in the episode, but if you watch that, this group is going against the Croat and whatever they were calling these people. This is Luther, badass dude, looks awesome. Not sure why they focused in on him tightening part of the nail gun. I'm guessing this is the nail gun or the machine that fires the zip lines. I don't know what it is, but it's their weapon. Maggie and Negan are sent to the bathroom to be captured. We see Ginny puts a shirt on her legs. It's probably her dad's shirt. Then we see a flashback when Maggie goes into the same room that Ginny is, and this was Herschel's room. So Herschel is talking with Maggie, and I have to say, like, Herschel is probably just a teenager or a preteen, and he doesn't want anything to do with it. He's unhappy, he's pissed, he's basically a brat. He's kind of like an annoying kid that you're like, there's no pleasing this kid. He doesn't have a dad. He's probably pissed off in the world, and you know, he draws a pretty good picture there of a superhero. Maggie's like, this is really good. He's like, it sucks, and he cripples it up and throws it down, and then he goes to Sandra's house or Xander's house or whatever he said, but he leaves. And Maggie's like, parenting sucks. Being a single parent sucks, and it has to, especially when your kid's being a punk. But Maggie is in the bathroom with Negan, and we get to find out some pieces of information about the Croat. So it sounds like what Negan says is the Croat came to the sanctuary, Negan helped him. The Croat turns out to be a psycho where he killed a person from the kingdom that was a scout, and Negan said it was too much, so he was going to put the Croat down or take him out, you know, just get rid of him. And he had one shot to do it, and he fired a shot, I guess, and shot off the Croat's ear. So he didn't burn it, he shot it off, and the Croat got away, and this is the first he's heard of him since, you know, that happened. So the Croat and Negan aren't on good terms, and the Croat would want to kill Negan. Pearlie Armstrong goes to the apartment. He has to kick in the door, and I have to say, it's like the thinnest, flimsiest door ever. They love to do this on TV shows and movies. It's so unrealistic because look how thin that door is. That is pretty terrible. Come on, right? But Pearlie Armstrong goes into the kitchen. We see supplies and food cans, and we also see a crack pipe, and I guess his brother was addicted to drugs. Armstrong walks around the place, and I guess he knows this place because he used to live here. Potentially, we see him with his brother, but his brother killed himself. We see in the episode, Armstrong checks for the gun, and it's not there. But like I said, Armstrong's brother killed himself, took himself out. And I have to say, he looks pretty good. It had to happen pretty recently because the blood on the wall, I don't know how long it would be, but either way, Armstrong's brother is dead. And as Armstrong picks up the gun, he walks back towards the front door. There are walkers there now. I don't know why there would be walkers there, maybe from the noise from kicking the door in, and it goes down the fire escape. I want to note the fox or horse or whatever this painting is in white on the door there. Is that where they have traps and stuff set up by the Croat? The Croat is such a mouthful to say, Croat, and Armstrong is captured in one of the traps that we saw before that Negan stopped Maggie from going in. Maggie and Negan are taken out of the bathroom because all the chaos is happening in this building that these people overtook or own or whatever or set up. But Tommaso, I believe this guy's name is, wants to kill them. And they're packing up their stuff and trying to leave. And they're like, oh, they did this. They set this up. And so Maggie and Negan have to say, look, we're not with them. You know, Maggie said a story that they were on a boat going to Boston and their boat ran out of gas and they drifted ashore here. And this lady calls bullshit. And it was because it's a fake story. Later on, Maggie tells them what they're doing. Negan sharpened the pigeon bone that Esther traded with them or gave to Negan that he said was pretty good, but he sharpened the pigeon bone in the bathroom, and now he's got a little shiv, but cooler heads prevail, and they decide to leave. But as they're about to leave, I forget what they call them. I can't remember the name that they call these people. It's just a weird name, but they break in and they start attacking everybody, and it's pretty cool. They have biker helmets with nails and blades and stuff in their helmets that they're using to kill the walkers with headbutts. But my question is, how can you see? not very well, right? Dark lens, dark room. And these people are called the Barazi, which is Croatian for brother or brothers. And Tommaso gets his butt kicked by the Barazi person here. And Maggie and Negan help out. They take some of these fools out. And it's pretty interesting. You know, we get to see a new group. And I hope they connect with things with the CRM or something. Or maybe it'd be pretty cool. I don't know if they will. But this chick, I don't know her name, fires her weapon at the Barazi dude. Hits him in the shoulder, upper chest thing, rips off some of his flesh, and takes him down. And then Maggie steps on it and I guess ends up killing this guy. But it's a pretty cool fight sequence with there. And Luther actually snaps some dude's neck. And these people can fight. They just don't have the numbers. And in war or trying times, the numbers is what matters. So they go to the roof. And they're going to, zip line around. That's how they get around, which is kind of crazy, kind of fun. I see a lot of red. There's some red in the basket. There's some red on this chick's bag. But we lose someone that has a small little red bracelet on. That it's Esther. So Esther is killed by this dude. And she's stabbed, like right here, by this dude. And she just dies from it. Which... I guess it is what it is. Negan grabs this dude, smacks his head against the beam, knocks him out, takes off the pretty cool motorcycle helmet, and then takes this dude for a show display here. But if you look at Esther, you see the little bracelet there on her wrist, and it's not much, but it connects with the red theory. And Tommaso puts her down with a nail or something into her brain. And again, there's another shot of the little bracelet around her left wrist. It's not much, but it's there. So the red theory connects again, strikes again, whatever you want to call it. The chick's got a red piece in her backpack. There's red pipes all over the spot where they came, right here. You can see in that room where Negan takes this dude. So as Negan takes this guy into the, I guess, building, the bank building or whatever it was, the rest of the people go away on the zip lines and they go to safety. And we see 3 vehicles of the Croats people. And it turns out that the Croat is a scientist and he can make gas. We'll find out more about that probably in future episodes. This dude has a neck beard and a rat tail, which Negan calls out. He also smashes this guy's face into 3 windows. And it's Negan being Negan. He puts on a show. And you want to be on Negan's side because he will protect you. He will save you, right? Hence the saviors. But he calls out this guy's neck beard and rat tail, which is pretty hilarious. And Negan puts on a show with this dude from the Barazi. And he does it for a couple reasons. It's Negan being Negan. He has to put on a show to show that don't mess with me and my group, because this is what will happen to you. Because his group doesn't have the numbers. And it's not really much here. But Negan says a knock-knock joke. So Negan's humor is, little kid humor. Knock, knock. Who's there? Butter. You better have your raincoats and rain umbrellas because it's going to pour. And he slits this guy's throat and the blood just pours everywhere. It's pretty funny how the people underneath are on the ground floor just stay there. Maggie watches everything. She's kind of scared, but she kind of wants to know how it goes down. But like I said, Negan being Negan, and these people just stand there. They don't try to go around or try to go up the steps at all. They just gather together so Negan can dump all this blood from this guy's neck all over them. Like I said, he slits the guy's throat. He tears this guy up. He slits the guy's throat and then guts him. And as he slits the guy's throat, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people from the Barazi that get covered in the blood. And Maggie can't look away. She's got to know how this goes. And she probably sees Negan being Negan. And then Negan guts him, like Spencer. Another callback, for sure, which I love. So all the guts and intestines and just everything covers these people again. Why are you standing there? This isn't Double Dare. Get out of there. Move away. Go away from it. Don't. It's just kind of what are you doing? And then Negan decides to toss the body over. We saw this in the trailers many months ago. But it's Negan tossing a person over the top into the group of the Barazi for them to freak out. And I have to mention this lady right here. She's like, ah! What are you doing? Why are you standing here? Come on. Just move away. The lady's face and even neck beard and rat tail. Ah! Then Negan, being Negan, is like, ha ha ha. So is this the transition of Negan being full Negan? Maggie again looks on and she's like, oh my God. I know some people will be like, she's turned on. She's like, wow, my hero. I don't want to see that. But Negan sees that Maggie is watching. Maggie looks down like, oh, I didn't see anything. And Negan is like, look, I protected you. I did what I had to do. And I saved your butt. Come on, let's roll out. So they leave. Then we go back to Ginny, who is at, I guess, the new Hilltop. And she leaves. So she doesn't stay here very long. She has a nice piece of bread with some butter on it. It's like a waste of food. But she decides to leave. So this guard, which is, kind of terrible, close the gate, close the door, whatever. But he's just standing there, and she throws rocks at something and hits it. He looks, hits another, looks again, one more time, boom, and he decides to check it out. So she walks over to the moped, motorcycle, dirt bike, whatever this thing is, and she's going to roll out. And then she leaves. But as she's about to leave, she looks up at the water tower or the steps or the, building, and she focuses on it. So I'm not sure what's there. Then we hear people ziplining, and we see Negan and Maggie and the tribe with Luther and Tommaso and the rest of the people inside a building, and they're safe. Negan takes out some glass out of his hand, and that's a pretty bad cut. Like, you'll need some medical attention. You can get infected from that, for sure. But I'm sure it's showing you, like, blood on his hands. He's back to being the way he was. Negan did what he had to do to survive and protect the people here, but he's got blood on his hands, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. I guess it's symbolism. Luther looks on. He doesn't say anything, and we hear the dialogue with Tommaso and Maggie and the other lady, and they talk about the Croat has Herschel, and Maggie comes clean about it, and they decide to help her. They say thanks for the help with the Barazi, and again, there's red stuff all over the place. I'm not sure if that's a red lantern or a red, toolbox or a red thing. This is the Hebrew symbol for life, so that's what that symbolizes, and that I guess was Esther's. And they decide to work together to take on the Croat, and now this is the new group that Negan, Maggie are going to be working with in the city, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with these people. Will we see them again? Will they survive? Will they make it to season 2? I know that Ginny survives to season 2 because she said they're going to start filming many months ago, later this fall. But Negan, Maggie working together. Again, this episode is very short. It's not even 39 minutes, and it feels very short. At the end, we see a vehicle. Again, the Croat is a scientist that can make fuel. That's why they have fuel. So again, it's explained, and that's all I ask. Just explain things to us. Armstrong is in the trap still. The Croat and 2 of his other Barazi people come here. They kill the walkers. I think it's the Croat who actually kills the walkers here with headbutts from the motorcycle helmet. So it's a pretty cool idea. So their whole thing here is put a thick, nice, secure helmet on, put some blades on it, and just stab, cut, pierce the skull and brain with headbutts. Which is a pretty cool idea. I don't know how practical it is, and if you're the same height or not, but the dude looks kind of short, but he takes out all the walkers with headbutts, and you can see there's blood and stuff all over the blades. So it's pretty cool. Haven't seen it before, and he takes his helmet off, and he says something in Croatian, probably like drop the trap or bring the guy down, and so the guy, or girl, the person brings down the net, and Armstrong comes out. He points the gun at the Croat. The Croat kicks it away, and the Croat sees the badge. So does that matter? Not sure. The jurisdiction here in New York City. The Croat says, "You're safe now," and then walks away, and that's how the episode ends. So both episodes have ended with ending with the Croat. And that's the season 1, episode 2. So overall, it's a good episode. It feels really short because, again, it's not even 39 minutes. But we're getting more information about the Croat, the backstory, Negan, Saviors, all this good stuff. And it's pretty cool. But overall, it's a good step in the right direction for the series. Negan is carrying the show for me. How about you? Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Like, share, subscribe. Support the PT channel when you can. The easiest way to do that is to subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your family. I believe the word is that UK is having trouble watching this show over there. We're going to be breaking it down for you. So if you want to stay in the know, make sure you subscribe to our channel. UK fans, thank you guys. Stay safe. And as always, tell them Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys.